Aries crew, come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. Come on in, and as you come in, let me know if you are part of the Aries crew by saying hashtag Aries crew in the comments. If you are a first time watcher, leave first time watcher in the comments. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Aries Rose, and welcome to Aries Rose TV. On this channel, we talk about streaming shows, TV shows, movies, pop culture, world news, local news, politics. Basically, anything I find interesting, I come on and discuss with my Aries crew. And today's show, we have some great topics lined up for you. We go live weekdays, weekday nights, pretty much every single night here. So you can definitely get your pop culture updates on this channel. We're also going to be doing movie reviews, seeing a lot of great movies that I want to come on and talk about. Megan 2.0 being one of them, since that's recently been released. We're definitely going to do a review on that. If you are on Instagram, follow us, Aries Rose TV, and we will follow you back. Let me know that you are from YouTube when you follow us over there. And if you haven't already done so, we'd love to have you a part of the Aries crew. All you got to do is hit that subscription button. It's free to join. We have fun over here. And then hit that notification bell so you can find out every time I go live, post videos, and post on the community page. YouTube has changed up their community tab, so you can also talk to me on there. Leave messages for me if there's topics, things you want me to know, questions. We can have discussions on there. All you have to do is be a subscriber, and then you can post on that communities tab. I use that pretty regularly, so go and check it out. Excuse me for a moment. And then once you are over in that communities tab, just let me know anything you'd like to see discussed on the show. And if we can cover the topic, we'll be glad to. We can't cover everything, but definitely would love to hear from the Aries crew over there. And also, if you've been on the live before, you're familiar with this, but if not, we recently lost the father to my children. It was a very unexpected passing, and we were not financially prepared for him to no longer be here. And we are putting together a memorial, and we do need your help. We have a GoFundMe that has been set up. We definitely want to do something to have a place where people can come together to remember him, share stories about him for his children, because they are young, and sadly they just won't get to know him as well as they could have if he had been here longer. So it's been a pretty devastating blow for us, and we're just learning how to navigate life without him being here. And I will be doing another video kind of talking about that, because it's something I never thought I'd be experiencing. I feel like I'm relatively young to lose a partner like that, so it's definitely been an experience, and others may be going through it too. It's kind of like the thing we don't talk about as much, because death is a very, taboo subject, but it's one that we definitely should have more conversations about, because it's inevitably going to happen to all of us. And it's just good to kind of know what you need to do in those situations, kind of the emotions and stuff that you experience. So I've been documenting everything and want to do a video to kind of talk about that, because I wish there was kind of something to guide me through this process, and maybe it could help somebody else. And let's get into the topics that we have for today. So Walter Scott from the legendary R&B group The Whispers. They have so many hits: Rock Steady, Just Gets Better with Time, Lady, and The Beat Goes On. And there's even more than that. They've been in the music business for easily 50 plus years. Very, very solid, awesome R&B group. And he was one of the twins in that group. He's passed away at the age of 81. So we're going to get some more information on that. The Diddy trial has wound down. The defense and the prosecution did their closing arguments. So we're going to get into some information on that, because we've been following the Diddy trial here on the channel. And the Cowboy Carter tour had a car malfunction, so we got to get some information on that. Some different things have happened with this Cowboy Carter tour, and this is just another one of those. So we're keeping track on what's going on there as well. And we got to take a pause for some comments. Moss, thank you so much for being on here. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great weekend. And Samuel's Outside Adventures, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you taking some time to be here. And let me know where you're from, what city, what state, or what country you are from in the comments here. Let's see how many different places we got people watching the show from. And let's get into our first story here. This is about the car malfunction that's going on with the Cowboy Carter tour. So Beyonce is out doing her Cowboy Carter tour, and she did one, I want to say last year or maybe the year before, for her Renaissance album, and that was really successful. A lot of people went. You saw a lot of videos. People were getting into that Renaissance vibe with their wigs or their metallic colors. So she really had a movement with that. And then she did an album, with a country album, the Cowboy Carter album, and now she's touring for that. And so that tour kicked off maybe a month or so ago. And the first tour date, there was a big brawl that broke out from some of the people that were attending. I believe it was in California that had occurred. And then there were some other little things along the way. And that tour is still going on right now. It looks like there was another situation that happened with a car malfunction that must be a part of the show. So we're going to get some information from reporting on Bossip about what happened with that. And while we're going to get into that, let me know if you went to the Renaissance tour for Beyonce or if you went to the Cowboy Carter tour, both. Have you gone out to see the shows? I hear she does a great show. I haven't seen the Renaissance or Cowboy Carter tour. Last time I saw her was the last tour that Destiny's Child did together as a group. And I mean, that was a great show, but that was a long, long, long time ago. So I haven't seen Beyonce in concert as a solo artist. So let me know if you have and what you think about her show and the songs. And this reporting from Bossip here. In the story, somebody's getting fired. Beyonce's flying Cowboy Carter car malfunctions mid-air. Hometown hoedown comes to a halt. And let's go. Houston, Houston, we have a problem. Beyonce narrowly escaped a disaster when her flying car made an emergency landing after malfunctioning mid-air during her Cowboy Carter concert in Houston. The Texas Hold'em star brought out all the stops on her new tour, which just returned from a European leg, but one of her show-stopping stunts took a horrifying turn on Saturday night. We've seen her take flight before on her Renaissance ride with glittering horse Renee, but this time she stepped up the horsepower while Beyonce took her classic convertible for a cruise in the sky. One side of the car dipped dangerously low while she was precariously perched on the back. That's scary. Just hearing it, not even experiencing it, is very scary to me, because if that drops, you could get seriously hurt. I don't know if the top was down or not, but we'll see if it gives us any more. Oh yeah, she was not covered from the video that I see at all. So if that would have fell, see, that's what's got my fear about heights. To me, that'll mess with that. Since the movie Final Destination, I like to keep my feet on the ground. Then hang on here, let me get a quick drink of water. All right, let's get back into the story here. During a performance of 16 carriages, the rig unexpectedly started to tilt to one side. Quote, stop, 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 quote, she said, end quote, she said, while the music abruptly stopped. And I don't blame her, because it looks like she was just kind of hanging on like this. For what seemed like an eternity, she continued to dangle in the air as the team rushed to fix everything behind the scenes. We've seen the record-breaking Grammy winner play off technical difficulties before, but never like this. The caption on one viral video by TikTok user, Still Unjaded, quoted one of those iconic moments from the 2010 I Am World Tour, somebody's getting fired. Still, the queen remained calm as she clutched her safety harness and looked at the crowd below in the NRG Stadium. Beyonce flashed a reassuring smile to her cheering fans and said, quote, thank y'all for your patience, end quote. Now that's a true professional. Eventually the car slowly lowered. Bey didn't budge or stop smiling until the lights cut off. Once she was safely back on the ground, following a brief exit, our favorite cowboy came back out like she never left to finish out the song and the show. Once all the drama was over, Bey laughed it off to the crowd, saying, quote, if I ever fall, I know y'all would catch me, end quote. I know that's right, Queen. She'll return to NRG Stadium for the second night of her Houston stop, and we're sure everyone will keep the up and giddy up for the rest of the Cowboy Carter tour. No reports have explained the cause of the malfunction, but we're just relieved Beyonce and all of her fans were safe. Absolutely. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. To me, that is so scary. That's why I'm not a big roller coaster heights person at all, just because of that potential that something could happen. So kudos to her for staying professional. I probably would have panicked in that situation and couldn't stop focusing on looking down. So good for her for not making it seem like a scary situation to the crowd. Although to be on a fly on the wall after she was lowered down and went behind the scenes, I'm wondering who got told about themselves or what went on there. I'm sure that was very interesting. But let's keep that conversation going here on the Cowboy Carter tour. And now we're going to get into R&B legend Walter Scott, one of the twins in the legendary Whispers group, the Whispers. They got a lot of really good songs. Absolutely love that group. One of my favorite songs they do is Rock Steady and Just Gets Better with Time. If you're not familiar with them, you can find them here on YouTube. Look them up. Really solid R&B group. Their harmonies beautiful. The twins' voices gold, 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 gold. And one of them has passed away. I was pretty fortunate to see the group with all the original members before they passed away, and I was really glad to see that because they were really cool to see. I didn't see them in their heyday, but to get a chance to see them all before they passed away, I thought was really cool. And I'm very thankful I got to have that experience because a lot of these legends are out here passing away. And some of them, from my time are passing away before they get into old age. So definitely go out if there's somebody you want to see and you haven't had a chance to see them, go see them. I didn't have a chance to see Prince in concert, Whitney Houston, or Michael Jackson. I just assumed they were always going to be there. And by the time I was interested in seeing them in concert, that ship had sailed and that was no longer possible because they're no longer with us. So if there's anybody that you want to see in concert, I highly encourage you to go if you can afford the tickets because you never know. You never know when they're not going to be here anymore. And it's nothing like seeing them perform it live, the actual people themselves. And let's get into this reporting about Walter Scott. This is from MSN.com. Walter Scott, whose buttery vocals alongside his identical twin Wallace were the hallmarks behind hit-making R&B group The Whispers, died on Thursday, June 26th after a 6-month battle with cancer. At the time of his death in Northridge, California, the 81-year-old was surrounded by family. The Los Angeles-based quintet is best known for its spate of R&B hits in the 80s, such as its first number one with the dance anthem And the Beat Goes On, followed by the sensual ballad Lady, the uptempo groove It's a Love Thing, and the group's second number one with another dance track, Rock Steady, which also reached number 7 on the Hot 100. All told, the Whispers charted 15 top 10 R&B hits beginning in 1970 with the group's number 6 breakthrough ballad, Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong. The quintet also counts 8 top 10 R&B albums in its catalog, including 2 number ones, The Whispers and Love Is Where You Find It. Walter Scott was born in Fort Worth, Texas in 1944 with the family later moving to Los Angeles. That's where he and his brother Wallace teamed up as the Whispers with Nicholas Caldwell, Marcus Hudson, and Gordy Harmon in 1963. The group relocated briefly to San Francisco in 1966, playing gigs and honing their live act. Drafted to serve in the Vietnam War, Walter rejoined the group when he returned in 1969. According to various labels, including Soul Clock, Janice, and Soul Train, the Whispers began to hit its stride in 1978 after signing with Dick Griffey's Solar Records, scoring number 10 on the R&B chart with Let's Go All the Way, followed by the top 10 Olivia Lost and Turned Out a year later, and The Beat Goes On. In addition to their elegant vocals and tantalizing harmonies, the group was heralded as well for its smooth dance routines on stage, making the Whispers a concert draw well into the 2000s. I can attest to that. Following an injury to his larynx, Harmon, who died in 2023, was replaced by Lavelle Degree in 1973. Fellow founding members Hudson and Caldwell died in 2000 and 2016 respectively, The Whispers were inducted into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame in 2014. Walter is survived by his wife Jan, 2 sons, 3 grandchildren, and brother Wallace. Information about the funeral services will be announced at a later date. Let me know your thoughts on that. May he rest in peace. His contribution and that group's contribution to music, Black music, American music in general, R&B music will never be forgotten. Their songs are still something you can listen to right now and get into that mode. Very, very good music making that you just don't really see today. They came from a time when they were trying to make music that would outlast them, and I think that they have done that. They have a lot of songs that were the soundtrack to some people having kids, the soundtrack to some people breaking up, maybe the soundtrack to people getting over breakups, or the soundtrack to people dancing, and that's what it's about. That's the range of the human experience. So I'm glad I got a chance to be familiar with that group and hear their music. Let me know your favorite Whisper song. Are you familiar with the group? What your thoughts are on the passing of Walter Scott? 81 is a respectable age. You know, we all want to live for as long as we can, but at least it was at an older age and not in his youth that he passed away. And I'm glad to hear he was surrounded by family, because that moment of transition is always nice to have people around you that love you and care about you and can be there for that time. So definitely keeping them in thoughts and prayers, wishing all the best to them. I understand what it's like now to lose a partner, so I can definitely empathize and sympathize in a way I could not prior to that happening in my own life. And it's a void that you can never really fill, because nobody can be that person for you or give you that same experience as that person, but their memories are what you have to use in place of them being there and making new ones. And I'm sure he left a lot of good times and good memories with his family and friends and people who love the group, who always have their concerts and performances and their music to reflect on. So those are my thoughts on the passing of Walter Scott here. May he rest in peace. And let's get into what we got going on with Diddy. So that trial is winding down here. I'm going to see if we have a date here on when it's anticipated that there may be a verdict in the case. But let's get into these closing arguments that have been done for both the prosecution and the defense side. So this is reporting from TMZ. And if you're on the live, if you can like the video, it would be greatly appreciated. It goes a long way and it helps to support the channel. It's a free way to help us get some more eyes on us. And really, really appreciate when you take a few moments to hit that like button. And let's get into this reporting about the closing arguments here. It's the final countdown. Closing arguments in the Diddy criminal trial are now in the books after an explosive day in court, with the defense taking aim at Cassie and Jane and prosecutors getting the last word. Diddy's defense attorney, Mark Agnifilio, put on a big show handling the defense's closing argument all by himself, getting dramatic and theatrical as he paced before the jury and explained why he feels the charges against his client are bogus. With Diddy's family watching from the gallery, Agnifilio told jurors Diddy was a victim of the government's bedroom policing, and he warned us all we could be the next targets if the feds don't like the way we have X. And he says, as he says was the case with Diddy. Agnifilio went hard on Cassie and Jane. He said that they were into freak-offs and wanted to have X with other men in front of Diddy, and he claimed Cassie wanted a male escort to urinate on her. Cassie was 9 months pregnant when she took the stand, and jurors also have seen her in freak-offs, but Agnifilio seemed to be taking a bit of a risk and playing with fire by going in so hard on Cassie. Agnifilio picked apart the charges against Diddy, and he may have created enough reasonable doubt, but the hardest ones to argue against are easily the 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. And a lot of what jurors heard from Agnifilio lined up with what he told us months ago, so the defense is sticking with their main theory about government overreach and bedroom policing. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey had the last word. She handled the rebuttal and tried to poke holes in Agnifilio's closing argument, pushing back on the way he characterized the case. So the case will be sent to jurors Monday, and then they will deliberate so you can get a verdict as early as next week, though the looming July 4th holiday could speed up or delay a verdict. And then I'm going to pause the live here, and I will be back on live after this. I just have to go do something real quick here. And then we'll be back on for a part 2 because we want to get into a little bit more details related to the Diddy closing argument. So please stay tuned. We're going to be coming back on live in about 5 minutes. Thank you for watching. Please share the live out with family and friends. We look forward to having you a part of the Aries crew. All you got to do is hit that subscription button. It's free to join. Then hit that notification bell so you can find out every time I go live, post videos, or post on the community page. We'll see you shortly to get into some more details about the Diddy trial closing arguments. Have a great rest of your day.